everyone. I want to wish you a really happy Easter from our St Andrew Somerville community. Easter is a very special time of year, isn't it, as we consider the resurrection of Jesus and the implications that it has for our lives. In recent days, particularly we've been praying for the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who himself is recovering from coronavirus, and I was interested to see that he was admitted to St Thomas's Hospital in London. Of course, St Thomas is one of the disciples of Jesus, and sometimes we know him as Doubting Thomas because he's the one that doubted the resurrection of Jesus and needed to see him for himself and to put his hands in those wounds which Jesus experienced on the cross before he would believe. And Thomas, when Jesus came some days later, came to believe and said to him, "My Lord and my God." And Jesus said, "Well, you believe because you see me. Blessed are those who do not see me and yet believe." And of course, that's where we are at in our situation, because we haven't seen physically and yet we're called to believe. I think a little bit like Thomas, we all start out as doubters. We all start out questioning and wondering whether this could possibly be true, because it seems so amazing that someone should rise from the dead. And yet, not only Thomas, the other disciples and many others saw and bore witness to this amazing event. It had been foretold by Jesus himself that he would rise on the third day, and yet they were still disbelieving. For us, of course, we can look back now and we can see how the resurrection transformed the lives of those disciples and began what we know as the community of Christ in the church in all its diversity through the years. It began a movement that continues to this day. Jesus said as part of his ministry that he was the resurrection and the life. He said, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me will live, even though he dies," in John's Gospel, chapter 11. And that's a fantastic statement that sums up who Jesus is, the resurrection and the life. By coming to Jesus, we too will know life. Life wins over death. Death, which will inevitably come to all of us, is not the end of the story. Jesus opens up a new way. Life, resurrection life. Life in a new dimension of life. Life that will continue on into an eternal future. So, in coming to Easter this year, I'm reminded of how much Jesus is life-giving. God himself is life and sent Jesus to bring us life. So, this Easter we want to wish you the very best life, and we think of the best life is in relationship with Jesus himself, who in him alone opens a door to eternal life. So may we come with faith and hope and trust at this time in our world, and may we look to the future in him, and may we be life-giving and life-affirming in all that we do. God bless you. May you have a wonderful Easter, and we look forward to seeing you when we can all get together face to face. God bless, and bye for now. Happy Easter.